Stroke. I'm a little nervous for BeastCoast looking at these drafts.
It's not the best game for the Grimstroke. The Soulbind is really good with Astral. One of the targets gets hit twice. There's like some weird math on it. Actually, it depends. It's hard to test. You can only really see it in real games because if you try and test with lobbies, it gets messed up by what order you summon the people in. But we won't get into that. The Bane, doubling up with the Soulbind is good, but Brewmaster's abilities do not double on the Soulbind with the from the Brewlings. So if you toss the Earth Panda Rock, for some reason it doesn't work with Soulbind, which always really annoys me.
Okay, that's a good little mechanics tip to know. Also a strange one. I can't think of any reason why that spell shouldn't work with it, but
it has something to do with them being like creep heroes and stuff, I guess. But
yeah, but still, that's
kind of lame. Yeah,
I'm really locked on this Brood.
A little broken.
Does BeastCoast have anything to stop Ramses from just taking over this game?
No, I believe that is the 10th big Broodmother effect.
Yeah.
They basically have to try and get good Fiend's grips, and it's so hard because you need some sort of a setup stun. Like, if they get an Astral or something on the Broodmother, and that gives enough time for Brax to split, then that can really help kill her, right? Like, if the Brewmaster gets the split off, then that control element can be enough for the teammates to bring down someone as slippery as Broodmother. But then, of course, you just go back to the general idea of the spiders and trying to handle them. Virtus.pro have a history of losing games with Broodmother. I feel like more than winning as of late, though. I remember, like, TI group stage, they lost at least a couple games to this Broodmother that just didn't look that great. It's like a hero that they always want to threaten with. I think whenever they're up a game, they try and bring this hero just to put it into the drafting thoughts of all their opponents.
Right. Make it a consideration so if people feel like they need to be banning it out and things like that. The tips onto Eternal Envy again. VP, sticking Trout. Mike even joining the party.
Everybody's getting on that one. Yeah, this is, I don't know, Broodmother used to be the classic counterpick to Drow Ranger, right? Where you always tried to lane the Brood versus the Drow, but not so much anymore, as Broodmother has been relegated to the mid rather than the side lanes.
Yeah. And that will be the case once again here. Ramsey's geared up for the mid. So it looks like VP will be committing to 2-1-2 to get things started. It is that position 5 Doom, so good call on that one, Trent.
Yeah, Solo really likes it. This hero is so busted. Can I actually be played in all 5 positions? I guess I have not seen a mid Doom. I mean, I know it's possible, but I've not seen one in a pro game. Seen it in pubs all the time, but I think Virtus.pro themselves have actually played this hero in 4 different positions.
You don't see the one Doom that often. It's possible.
But they've done it. Like, Ramses has played the Doom for them in the safe lane.
Yeah. It's kind of a very snowbally one, but it can get out of control, that's for sure.
I've been dreaming of this moment.
Roger's going to lose half his HP to Mike, and he's going to be like, that's cool. I'm just going to, like, deny the range creep if I feel like it. Mike's actually waiting for it. This is quite the strategy here. Trying to interrupt Roger just taking this creep into the jungle. And so instead, they'll tip him, and they'll just start bullying Royoya, who is in the safe lane. And, well, here is your play here from Brax. They're going to send the Brewmaster to the mid lane because this is what you do. You send your melee hero mid, and you give him 2 stout shields. So that'll be probably the first thing Brax sends out on his courier.
Okay. We'll see how it works out. I like the adjustment. It should secure a pretty good laning phase for the OD, at least in theory.
Yeah, I'm curious how
actually not
how
that
the
bad.
Cinder Brew will work with the clap and see if that's enough damage. Because these Spiderlings, it's always so hard to judge if you're going to have enough damage to kill them.
280. Okay.
It's that magic resistance, you know?
Mm-hmm. And then this interesting off lane from BeastCoast, the Grimstroke Drow Ranger. Very curious to see how this one's going to play out.
Yeah, this is basically just one of those situations where the whole idea is it's like the EG strat where they basically just run RTZ in the Radiant offlane all the time. All it takes is a little bit of creep manipulation. It's harder to do now because it's easier to pull as Dire side, but it doesn't take a whole lot to set the balance here on that Radiant side, and you just get to play your whole laning stage on this like little bridge, and it feels pretty safe.
Mm-hmm.
But this is something you couldn't do before. What Solo's doing right now is absolutely massive. These are the kind of plays you have to make.
Oh.
Doesn't get the full wave, but even at least one will help. And TMT able to interrupt. Ramsey's mid lane. He's dead.
Whoa.
Brax gets the first blood.
Whoa. Okay.
Give him the tips. Very nice. 2 points in the thunderclap. Runs him down.
So I was looking up top. I did not catch the setup there, but that is huge for this Brewmaster.
It is a Broodmother coming back into the mid lane with full HP and mana, though. So Brax in a bit of trouble himself now.
Yep, he's going to get pushed back. Then we'll get a kill on Envy while we're watching this. And, of course, Brax is going to survive. Yikes.
Perfect timing
Ramses.
for the courier to show up with the second stout shield, though.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Mike and Roger are farming the jungle. There's action everywhere right now, guys. We're all over this map.
This is a pretty chaotic laning phase. See Roger trying to split the damage onto Mike with trying to finish off these golems. And even down bottom, Ryoya, that'll be fine. Probably no kill threat here.
God, you can see he just does not do enough damage to these things, though, with the level 2 and the Thunderclap. He has a regen rune for Brax, though, but this is the problem in the mid lane, is that Ramses is just going to do this now, and he's going to play back here. And Brax will have to spend his time between dealing with Ramses and trying to farm the creep wave at his tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, abusing the spider or the webs here pretty effectively.
The couriers cross paths here. And oh, that's coming right into the tower. That courier.
It's good.
We're cool.
We're cool.
Yeah, dude.
We're cool. Okay, this seems to be working okay for Ramses. You can't win the straight up. Let's just play in the trees. So far, so good. Supports can't really rotate to do much.
Denied.
Pasha, yeah. This is a really awkward game for some of these players. Like, Mike looks like a lost boy. He's just running around. He can't find the Enigma at this point, and now he's like, do I just go back to stopping the tide cut waves? Isn't my hero good at this? But now he's haste rune. Can he get anything done with it is the question. I mean, Pasha is just undealable with, pretty much.
Puts him to sleep.
Oh, there you go. I mean, this is what he's supposed to do, though, right? This is the whole point of Bane. That right there, where you can sleep him. And, well, sorry. Hopefully I didn't distract you too much there.
Up top, we're probably going to get Envy too, though. Some ranged axes. Looks like they fell a little bit short. Solo, no cooldowns, but in Hot Pursuit does have boots. Envy does not. Can't quite find the damage, though.
Oh, Solo! The jukes! Dude, did he get him?
Nope.
Oh, he didn't go for the... Oh, he didn't have enough mana. I was wondering why he didn't do the War Stomp first. If he had enough mana, Envy was actually dead there. But he ran out, and that's going to give up the 5-minute bounties to BeastCoast. So Solo, very greedy play there, does not pay off.
VP going to shrine up. Checking back in on the mid. Ramsey's getting close to level 6. Brax has secured his level 6.
Yeah, that solo kill helping a lot. But now Ramses, of course, just moves into the jungle, going to start farming these camps as the courier flies right over his head. Dangerous life for the couriers this game, man. Solo up top, in trouble. Low armor doom.
Yeah, he'll go down. Another easy pick there. This is such a weird laning phase. Mike is still just playing in the jungle with Roger right now. So it's sort of a 4v4 in the lanes, really. But I think the big winner is that OD down bottom. Number 2 on CS. And hard to tell how many Brax actually has because of all the spiders.
Brax is very rich.
On to no one.
Brax is 700 gold ahead of the OD, who's the second highest person in the game, and then it's Envy next. And Brax is just going to add to that with a kill. And they've killed...
All right, I was watching
troll.
no one up top.
Okay, perfect.
So
mid wasn't very exciting. Brax just split and killed an Enigma.
Oh, and Ryoya, he gets a solo onto Pasha. He drops the hammer and brings him down.
BeastCoast. BeastCoast, best coast?
It's a pretty substantial lead at this point. 4K net worth at 6 minutes. Ramsey's still committed to cutting mid. But these other lanes have erupted. Look at the net worth. My lantern. Up top, Envy is going to get caught. And I think maybe a kill. TMT with a nice stun, and he breaks it up. Stops Solo from Hot Pursuit. Mike also making the rotation.
Dire's bottom tower
Wow,
is
all
under
3
attack.
Beast Coast cores, top of the charts.
Yeah, definitely not what you'd expect in a game of Virtus.pro versus BeastCoast. But BeastCoast, they're showing up here. Again, the courier in the dangerous territory as it finishes another null talisman there for Roya. Gives him a third. So BeastCoast, wow, again,
Top
another
lane.
sleep up top on a no one.
Yep, set up for Mike. TMT maybe in some trouble. Does get off the stun. Knows his limits. A lot of damage onto the troll, and they should be able to find it. Solo jumps back in to try to make it a 1-for-1. Gets the kill on TMT first. No
Oh my
one
God,
with the
these misses.
blind, actually surviving for a pretty long time here. Mike trying to dive him under the tower, but no one regenning up thanks to the Tango. Getting whomped by the tower, and no one. He might still be able to do this, but no, Mike gets it. 20 HP.
Oh, tip him, Mike. Tip him. And he's out of there.
Wow. What a song and dance that turned out to be.
Is IX Mike the greatest player of all time? It's possible.
He
I
might
mean, you
well
saw
be.
it.
Bottom
He
lane
took
now.
down
Ryoya in
no-
trouble, but no, they turn it the other way again. Roger dies first before the OD falls. Absolute chaos in this laning phase. OD goes down, but he's had a pretty good time thus far. Starting to work on that Rod of Atos. Ramses slowly recovering as he's working the jungle. Has that medallion now.
Yeah, and this is definitely going to be one of those games where he's going to be more focused on the Spiderlings. Where going for the Helm next, and then potentially a Greaves game, I would say. Looks pretty solid this match. There's just not a lot of clear for the Spiders. It's pretty much all Brax.
Yeah. No, Brax wants the Radiance, dude. Look at this.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's what you do with his massive lead. Like, he is so far ahead of anyone else in this game, guys. He has a 5K net worth right now at 9 minutes, and he's
Ooh,
going on to
split.
no one.
This is a good play, but can they find the kill? Solo on his way over.
Dire's bottom tower.
And no one falls. Can they get more, though? Brax goes back into the Brewmaster form. Pasha's here. Rotations coming in from the Spider. TMT in trouble, but a nice defensive Astral buys him some time. Mike will be the next to go down, so they make it a 1-for-1. Now a 1-for-2, but Solo getting clicked down. An even trade thus far, but can Ryoya get out?
No TP
Not looking
here.
like it. He drops the hammer on 2. Pasha and Solo in the grave.
They are going to be able to finish him off here, though. The question is who's going to get the big bounty. They're trying to give it to no one, and they will. So 326 for him as the 10-minute bounty runes start to come up. Envy already TPing bottom to get onto the lane and let TMT help secure the bottom bounties. And Mike's going to make the run top, so it looks like they'll probably get 3 here for BeastCoast at least, if not 4.
Radiant's middle tower.
And they have smoked up in the mid lane, though. They're coming down, but they're going to be too late for the bounties.
It is going to be all 4. Up top, Mike makes his way over. Very nice. Beast Coast with a 5K lead at 10 minutes.
Solo's coming real deep in here for the wraparound, but there's quite a few Radiant heroes here, too.
Maybe a risky maneuver. Only level 4. Still hanging on to that War Stomp. Wants to set it up onto Envy. Getting down low. Double damage on Roger makes it even easier. And they get the kill on that high-priced target, the Drow Ranger. Maybe
they want
even
another
more.
one.
Now Mike going to get surrounded. A lot of spiders nearby. Another web comes down, and Ramses just rips him apart.
And that's enough gold for the Helm right now. This is scary times here. They're trying to get that Radiance done for Brax, but it's still a Radiance. It takes time. He'll get the little Spiderlings, but they're not worth that much, as you can see.
VP showing a little bit of momentum themselves.
The Spiderites, I suppose. Pardon me.
Spiderlings, Spiderites.
Spidery, Spider.
It's a whole family. The Arachnids.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Double
is
Helm
under attack.
strats coming out for VP, as Roger now has his Helm and boots complete.
Okay. Double Helm.
It's all right. It's fine. I mean, it's Brood. You want Helm. Helm's good.
The same thing for Enigma. It's Enigma.
Yeah.
You want Helm.
It's good. They could take that Catapult here, too, but they have the Alpha Wolf, so doesn't want to give that up.
Yeah, that just means they get a greater variety of creeps here on their team.
Yeah, plus 11 damage from the pack leader on all those Eidolons.
Radiant's
Yeah, that's pretty good. That adds up.
Yeah.
6 Eidolons.
Radiant structures are
A lot of
fortified.
DPS. I'm not a
Radiant
human
supports-
calculator, Trent.
The Radiant supports have smoked up here and gotten some good vision down, and they're looking for a kill onto no one. No grip yet, though, on the Bane. That hurts.
Yeah, the only hero not to have his ultimate, and only halfway through level 5. They will come in onto the Troll, Rod of Atos, huge TP reaction from Virtus.pro, and BeastCoast will start to back up after seeing that. Mike in the trees, he'll look to TP, they'll find him. And looks like the Bane will be the one that's left behind. OD was able to TP home.
Must be dreaming.
Not the biggest loss, but victory for Virtus.pro as they do defend their carry and get a counter kill.
Yeah, it's fine for BeastCoast as long as they keep this vision, but you know, dying just right in that spot makes it, I don't know, that's one of those like first places that you want to check when you see a support TP out like that.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
geez.
solo kill in the jungle. That'll be Broodmother on OD.
Yeah, you simply can't be there, or he will just kill you. I mean, that's why you haven't seen them in this jungle at all, right? Like, if you're anywhere near the Broodmother, you will just die.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And he's also got the Alpha Wolf with him, so those spiders are doing extra damage. It's pretty ridiculous, actually.
Sentries, too. They're just taking full control here. They're actually preparing for a counter gank onto their Broodmother. They're smoking past their own Brood to see if BeastCoast were on their way to try and kill Ramses.
Here's the
And,
Radiance, now up for Brax. Could be a potential turning point for BeastCoast. Primal Split used. They'll go in onto Solo, and they'll find the kill there. But on the other side, still some reinforcements for Virtus.pro. Ravage is available, and only a few seconds left on this Brew Split.
Oh, there goes Mike. Oh, maybe he
He
might
actually
live.
lives. The spiders get pulled back, and Brax will finish off Pasha instead. A sloppy engagement there from VP.
I actually can't believe Mike survived there. Just didn't have the web there from Ramses.
Solo TP's in. Drops the Doom onto Ryoya. Now, more rotations coming, but Solo is going to fall. That was a really awkward decision.
Brax is just like, yo, I almost small Roche here, guys. Like, I'm so fat right now.
Why did
But,
he use the Doom like that?
I think he thought more people were coming. That would just be my assumption. I mean, that's the only reason to do it, right?
I guess. I mean, he TP's in, doesn't get the deny on the tower. Brax still finishes it off. And, yeah, no one was even close. Okay. Misfire from Virtus.pro. Back up to a 5K net worth lead for BeastCoast. Tidehunter maybe in some trouble up top. Silenced by Envy, but he's a big boy. Looking for the wraparound, but the supports aren't going to go for it. Instead, they'll find
Solo really going to die
again.
a third time in a row.
There's a double damage on Brax. I think he's in trouble. Okay.
God.
Poverty Doom.
How much damage was that last hit? 427. Absolutely smacked him.
Brax gets another tower, tier 2 up top. This Brewmaster is balling right now.
So Ramses went for the pipe instead of the Greaves. Kind of interesting.
Sure is. You got it complete now, too.
I thought he'd want the Greaves just because of the Drow, potentially the Grimstroke, and then also just I find the AoE a little bit better versus the Brew, I guess. But I mean, I'm sure he'll just end up getting both. And Hood's pretty amazing as a build-up, although he didn't even end up having it. He just gets the entire pipe sent out, so I don't know if I
500?
up top.
Yeah. He'll get ripped apart. Easy Sanity's Eclipse there.
That's a level 2 Sanities. Yep.
And back in mid. Pressure onto Brax. Does have the Primal Split. Goes off. That Radiance burn. Don't know if they'll actually be able to catch anyone here, though. Ramses makes it back up to the high ground. Minor
one of those
victory
times
there,
where-
forcing out the Brew Split.
You really see how insane that ulti can be versus certain heroes. Like, that was 814 damage, guys. That's pretty wild.
At 16 minutes, yeah. And now they'll get a setup onto the Doom. Surprise, surprise. Solo's down again.
This is the most I've ever seen Solo feed, I want to say.
Dire's
Like, at least in such a short duration. He's actually been dead longer than he's been alive over the past, like, 3 or 4 minutes.
Yep.
And now on to Brax as well as Mike here. Mike the much easier target, but Ramsey's not going to push it.
Oh, stun onto Brax. Looks like they want to commit. He is low on mana, now slowed down. This Brewmaster is running out of options. They even deploy the Ravage to secure this kill, and they do get it. Mike also falls. Some additional collateral there.
Really nice choice here from No in this game to go for the Diffusal Blade. Not a very common item on the Troll Warlord, but it means that Brax can't play his game, right? Because Brax, the way you want to play Brewmaster is you want to go to the absolute limit before popping your ultimate because you're wasting spells and time from your opponent. But if he starts getting his mana burned, he's just going to have to like start panicking.
And look at this,
And
though.
of
VP
course,
with
with
a
the
great
additional
read.
control.
They walk right into the pit. They know how fast they can kill it. Now they've got an Aegis on the Troll. It's also a good read for Nolan because he did have the Battle Fury queued up during the laning phase. So this was an adjustment. Very smart decision.
Yeah, they just needed stuff to get done because they knew that they were losing on the grand scheme of gold this game.
Grimstroke is strikingly farmed, though. He's got himself an Aether Lens and a Ghost Scepter.
Yeah, trying to make sure he's not susceptible to the same deaths that you see plaguing Mike, where he just gets like two-shot by the entirety of the Spider Army.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Bottom lane looks like OD will grab himself a free tower. Getting closer to his Shiva's guard.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
The Aegis this game was placed onto
Dire's
no one,
bottom
so
tower is under
if
attack.
you're BeastCoast right now, you're really thinking about trying to get a kill on to no one, or sorry, to Ramses, but Solo does make it back into the base. I was getting a little nervous there, not gonna lie.
He's good.
Radiant have glyphed up and are
I mean, look at
forcing
this, though.
these creeps.
This is
in the
almost
bottom.
2 free towers for OD.
Yeah, this is while they have an Aegis.
They get a glyph, but this is just straight uncontested. All right.
It seems Virtus.pro are just kind of reading the situation and saying, guys, I don't think we can fight outside our base without BKBs. Inside the base is at least playable, but Broodmother, very much a creature of habitat, hard to go into new areas and fight, so Ramses has to get here now and start planting some webs.
Just uses the Brew Split for the Demolish to get some extra damage on the Tier 3. Brax actually sieging pretty effectively, but won't have the Brew Split for the fight if it does break out. Ravage up in about 5 seconds for Virtus.pro. This could be a little scary for BeastCoast. They do go into solo, but it's a black hole on the other side. They catch Brax. BC trying to rotate. The Ravage just barely clips those 2 supports. Mike will be the first to fall. Brax should fall moments after. TMT TP's out thanks to the Ghost Scepter, and Doom has been deployed onto the OD. Now on the run. VP in hot pursuit. Some more webs come down. This Outworld Devourer should be going down.
They're so good at giving the kill to no one. Like, every time. Just wants to get towards that BKB, and not the way to play that fight.
Pretty
from
devastating.
BeastCoast. Yeah.
You know, I really thought that was a good play to use the split and get all that damage on the Tier 3, but ended up being way too greedy. And the Brew felt like kind of a non-factor in that fight. Once the fight actually started, at least.
Yeah, I don't know. That just doesn't seem like the way to do it, honestly.
Certainly not against a black hole and a Ravage, I think.
Well, especially the Ravage. Just like, it's so good at punishing you if you're fighting in those sort of situations. Like, they're all kind of like spread out in these awkward scenarios where Tidehunter can still tip the scale of essentially like 2 mini battles, where he's dealing with a hero next to him, and he also stunned up 2 heroes that are like across the screen fighting someone else.
Mm-hmm. Mike, invisible right now. Fiend script used onto Ramses. Some rotations coming. Can they get here in time to actually secure this kill, though? Now the Brewmaster joins the party. Envy makes it up to the high ground, and yeah, they've got more than enough. Okay, good setup.
Dire's middle tower is
I
under
like the idea of BeastCoast trying to fight when these cooldowns aren't available. Doom, Black Hole, and Ravage. Pasha also gets soloed in the bottom lane again.
I actually stopped looking because he had a blink dagger. I assumed he was just going to blink into trees and just get out. That is a big kill. Wow. BeastCoast, now they're just going to start pushing into that bottom lane because the creeps are hitting mid. They'll have enough time to take this if they just want to YOLO up the high ground.
I mean, he
But
could
hesitant.
split. Those get diffused straight away. Pardon me, inhibited.
It's too late now, though. The back door's back. At least it will be. Yeah, there it is now. Yeah, they had a moment there, but of course they don't have that nice bird-eye view of full-on vision that we have. And probably weren't aware just how free it would have been to run up that tower.
Blink Dagger on Enigma, Solar Crest on the Brood. What's the Drow Ranger got? I feel like I haven't checked in on Envy in a while. Hurricane Pike working on a Butterfly. Though Envy's actually been pretty quiet this game. 4, 2, and 5 has gotten involved. 167 CS at 22 minutes.
Yeah, losing a lot of his jungle made his game a bit slower, despite the way that they were like sort of winning this whole early game. Other than the Broodmother, basically, it just like taking over that turf just did a lot of economic damage where they couldn't snowball as hard as you would have expected, considering a lot of those kills in the lanes that we saw.
Right.
And a lot of the repeated like support pickoffs and stuff.
Definitely feels like this game is on the cusp. BeastCoast have held on to a pretty substantial lead through most of this match, and it's been trending positively, still kind of moving up in their favor, but Virtus.pro have shown that they're not down for the count. And anytime you have a lineup like this with these big cooldowns, there's always that potential to just turn these team fights, and it just takes one, right? Just takes one to get you into Roche. Now you've got that Aegis advantage. Will still be a while till we see what that Roche timer looks like, but despite being behind by a pretty substantial net worth deficit, Virtus.pro still have some options. I mean, they're going to start pressuring this tier 2 mid. BKB is up on no one. All the cooldowns available here for both sides. It'll just be a free tier 2 tower. That's it.
And Virtus.pro just, again, like, this game and last game, that first Roche is so crucial for just ruining the game plans of BeastCoast. Like, BeastCoast really needed it last game, and if they'd gotten it this game, they probably would have gotten at least a tier 3 by now. You can pretty much guarantee that, but, like, even possibly a Rax.
Roger could be in a sticky situation. Looks like he'll back up in time.
I got some good vision remaining here in that mid lane, too. One of these wards that helps spot out hero movements. It spots out the courier a lot, too. And, well, speaking of which, Mike instantly takes it down. So, good eyes by Mike. He's been really on the wards today.
I think BKBs for VP are really scary this game.
Ooh, so they've smoked up their heroes, and Roya now comes in not smoked up for the 25-minute bounty rune fight. Envy knows he lost his smoke.
Top rune
Oh,
goes
Mike,
to Mike.
a bold man.
Gonna pay with his life, it looks like. And on the other side, Doom pops the ulti onto Brax, but Ryoya is here. BKB used by no one. There's the black hole, connects on 2. Will stop a little premature, but still sets up a pretty good-looking fight. They bring down Envy. Beautiful Ravage to catch the OD as he comes out of Astral. Now Brax forced to just BKB TP out. There was a buyback used by the Bane. Virtus.pro take a huge fight.
It's just one of those not worth, you know? You have, your Bane just goes down 100 to 0, and it, I don't know, you still, like, commit for the fight, end up losing the Drow and the OD.
And a buyback on your Bane. A lot of economic damage. And now this tier 2 will also go down.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
And they actually had
net
so
worth
much
lead,
vision.
Down from 8.
Yeah. They had so much vision leading that fight, too, from the side of BeastCoast. Like, they had a really good idea as to what Virtus.pro were doing in that situation. It just felt like they could take it, but obviously not the case. Big Doom as well, of course, from Solo.
No
That's
doubt.
the other big determining factor, because they felt like they could still fight, because Mike could just buy back and be there in a second, so understandable why you go for it. But, I mean, that's the power of the Doom, even in position 5. Maybe you can hit that. So they're trying to fight again while it's on cooldown.
Is under attack.
And they have the vision onto Solo. You really don't want to split for this, though.
Got the Yules to set it up. Should be able to find this kill without the split, I would hope. And they certainly will.
Problem is they have no waves anywhere. Ramsey's just cutting mid.
And now this troll is taken over as the leading farmer. He's going to go Scotty for his next item. No one, just beefing up. Also getting close to that level 20 talent, as we always go back to. Big turning point for the troll. The 40 damage, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Ridiculous with the fervor.
It really is. He's just trying to stick on people. I mean, that's what Troll does. Little sticky boy. And probably Satanic, I would think, after. I feel like Satanic's just really nice this game for him. It's really nice every game, let's be honest. Oh, Mike, the spiders, they're coming. But Brax will be there to help him out. I see why he has the pipe and everything to this game, like especially with the Grimstroke, as you can see right there. Helps to protect some of his spiderlings with the inside aura.
Mm-hmm.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
More ward coverage from Mike, though. Those get pinged out by Solo, perhaps.
Feels like it's been a really long respawn, as it's finally starting to appear here.
10 seconds.
And they've been sending in spiders, so Virtus.pro keeping an eye on it, trying to make sure that they're going to be in the best position to take this and once again deny it from the side of BeastCoast, because it does feel like that's what BeastCoast need to go high ground. They just don't have great sustain with this lineup. They don't have any sort of a Greaves carrier, a mech carrier. I don't even think they have an urn. Like, they need... If they take damage, that damage just, it lasts, you know? There's nothing's bringing you back.
All cooldowns ready to go. Ultimates available for both sides. Where's the fight going to start? With a dead Doom. He did pop his ulti, though. Ravage comes out. They really want OD, and they'll find him. Buyback used on both sides. Brax with his BKB on. He's going in deep, but he's all alone. And on the other side, Ramses is basically doing the same thing. He'll get
is Brax going to live? He's dead.
Brax goes down. It looks like Ramses will also fall. Both teams trading pretty evenly, but now VP is erupting. BKB on for no one, and he brings down 2. TMT and IX Mike still in the grave. Buyback used by Brax. Now they'll get the counter kill onto Roger. He does have a buyback himself.
Oh, Pasha, that blink. Needed that kill just to get one more side of BeastCoast, but they're leading in the buybacks here. TMT will match the one from Roger, and that is not going to force them out of the pit here. No Ravage, no Doom. Buyback the ultimate counter to long cooldowns.
They do still have the split. They also have the OD ultimate, so BeastCoast might be better positioned in this scenario, but it feels like a risk to commit to the pit. Solo in too far. He'll fall. It's a dieback on him. Sideline for 70 seconds. But in some ways, VP just buying time for Ramses to get back. Roger now on the run, was tossed up in the Cyclone. Caught by the Atos, and that'll be a dead Enigma. Dieback on him as well.
TMT is currently duking out with Pasha back at the pit. Keeping an eye on it for the team.
Should be a Roche for BeastCoast now. 5v3. Down it goes. Aegis Cheese secured. And they will give the Aegis over to Brax, surprisingly.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who they were going to go for there. That is a tough call.
Still think OD or Drow are your 2 front runners. Definitely surprised to see it go to the Brew.
I think they're considering the level 20, because when Brax has the 100 attack speed, that makes a massive difference.
True.
And I think that's what he's going to go for this game. So then that's pretty ridiculous, because he's also like fully in. He can actually commit a lot of his damage with the BKB. They're pretty much forced to black hole him, because even if they just doom him, he is still going to be absolutely whomping them. And the Doom, I guess, is just too much of a counter for the Brewmaster that without his buyback, they need him to have that Aegis.
Fair enough. Pretty topsy-turvy game. BeastCoast reclaiming the lead after making a few missteps. A lot of their buybacks on cooldown. Virtus.pro lacking a couple, but because of gold, not cooldown. So right now it's just Envy that's got it. He did have Silver Edge queued up, but now he switches it over to the BKB. Pretty safe. And Ramsey's looking at an Assault Cuirass on that Brood.
Oh, the question is, what do you do now as BeastCoast with this Aegis? How do you get any good control of this map? How many awards do they have? None on Mike and none on TMT. That's a bit of an issue. They've obviously got a couple down already. I'm trying to think of this whole part of the map as they try and push forward. How do you start a fight? Like, they don't have great pick-off potential. That one time that they picked off Ramses with the Invis rune, I mean, that was pretty much best-case scenario, right? And that's so hard to execute again. They have the Shadow Blade in the thoughts of Envy, and then, as he said, he switched over to that BKB. But even a Drow Shadow Blade isn't really a way to initiate something. So it's kind of just Atos. I don't know.
They're going to have a Hex coming on OD. I guess that'll be another tool, right?
That is definitely true, but that is a long way away. I mean, we only have 2.5 minutes left on this Aegis. And they're running at Pasha. He has no blink available, and oh, the secondary stun, though, is nothing there.
He's good.
Good play. I don't know if they're going to get away from the base here, guys.
I'm kind of with you on that. Attack speed is secured by Brax. And whoa.
Oh, so
Envy
Envy
does
just
grab
went
the
back
Shadow
for it.
Blade. No
Okay.
BKB. A little bit of indecision there, but he does commit for the invisibility. Very interesting. Feels like a kind of high risk, high reward compared to the BKB.
I mean, Pasha's been doing a ton of split pushing, so maybe he's thinking that because he also has the Silver Edge queued up. So if he pops out onto Pasha, he could kill him.
True.
Because Pasha did not go for Greaves this game and would have nothing else to do. It's a tight window to try and kill a guy without the Kraken, though. But it can be done.
So Pasha working on a refresher. Brack's going to bump into the whole team. Great
That was a
blink.
fast blink.
But they're going to head back up to the high ground, force out the split. Now Doom taking a lot of damage from the Drow. They'll just leave solo.
Oh, the smoke protection, though. Roger was still smoked up.
Pasha now on the run, about half duration on that brew split. Still a potential for VP to turn as they just juice Mike, and now the BKBs get popped by the big cores. Ramsey's a no one, but can they find anyone else with it?
No, they're too stuck together.
Rax jumps in. Now he uses his BKB. Another awkward spread out fight. Feels like a game of chicken here as both sides retreat and then recommit. But Brax will get left behind. That's the Aegis.
They have the black hole here. He shouldn't be able to get out of this one.
Gonna hold the black hole for now. Just gonna do it with stuns and right clicks from no one.
Oh, that was the Ravage. He's down.
Yeah, great ult from Pasha, but now the black hole, or pardon me, from Ryoya. He'll pop the cheese. They're going to turn on to Ramses, and this is turning into a disastrous fight for VP. No one is committed. He can't get out. Ryoya, the hero of that fight to bring down the tide before the Ravage
now
can come.
Pasha-
Now Roger falls. It's a
Pasha just
buyback
bought
from
back
Pasha,
here.
and he almost gets caught. He's on his way out, does have the blink.
Oh my god, this Tide Hunter, man. It's so hard to play versus that OD. That was so much damage from the Sandys. He did 3,700 damage, and that was pretty much just onto Pasha, honestly.
Dyer's
Absolutely
bottom tower
ridiculous.
is under attack.
I mean, it does mean that they have the Ravage now for the high ground, but I mean, this tier 3 is way too low. The question is, will BeastCoast commit to more? Mike went down super early in that fight, so he still has a Fiend's Grip here as well. And with limited heroes, with so many of them being down, it becomes more valuable here.
Looks like it'll be a lane. There is a buyback available on the Troll, but he's going to opt to hold it.
Yeah,
Dyer's bottom
I don't know. You definitely push for mid here, I think, as BeastCoast.
This is your window,
Dyer's bottom barracks.
but no, they're going to retreat. They're going to play it
Oh,
safe.
okay. That's fine. There's still shrines. That's actually more reasonable.
Dyer's bottom shrine has fallen.
Well, so much for the refresher hopes of Pasha, I suppose, eh?
Think
A
so.
lot of gold to give up.
I mean,
Shrine
there's
is
still
under
hope, I
attack.
guess, depending on how the next 5 to 10 minutes go, but slows down his momentum quite a bit, no doubt.
Dyer's top shrine has fallen.
And in the blink of an eye, both shrines are gone, and BeastCoast set up very well for that next Aegis. It's a 13k lead. It doesn't feel like one. I think BeastCoast would probably agree. They're really struggling. Like, it takes these absolutely gargantuan fights, and as you've said a few times this game, Virtus.pro, like, there was that whole meta we talked about for like a year of just like, it seemed like the better team was always the one where you just looked at it and said, how many fights does this team need to win the game?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a pretty classic example of that. 'Cause it just looks like this is a Virtus.pro lineup that needs like one good fight near BeastCoast base, and this game's over.
Yeah, I think that is really the scary part here. I mean, if this was old Troll, definitely. So maybe not as extreme as games past, but I'm more afraid of this Scythe of Vice that's coming out on the OD. He is super close now. Basically just needs a Void Stone, and they're going to have Hex.
That is true. And they have a lot of BKBs at this point, right? We got the Broodmother, we got the Troll, and we have the Enigma.
So 3, yeah.
That Grimstroke was, it's kind of interesting because it's a hero that we don't get to see too much anymore. He's definitely fallen off in terms of popularity, but that leash onto both the Broodmother and the Troll Warlord during their BKBs did a lot of damage to a Virtus.pro in that team fight. They were both just kind of stuck there, completely unable to really do anything during that fight.
And he's also working on a Scythe of Vice himself. So it'll be double Hex. They are going to go in onto no one, but does get interrupted by the Ravage. Mike will fall immediately. Envy trying to make it out. Can they find more? TMT also on the run. Doom has been deployed onto the Outworld Devourer, but VP just can't close the gap. Blink already been used by Roger. And they will get the Grimstroke, so it ends up being 2 supports. Bruce split. Can they still grab Brax potentially? Where's that main panda? There he is.
He's way back at the base, but I think he's been scouted. Oh, he hasn't. He's getting out.
Yeah, no way to interrupt it.
So Envy Shadowblades grabs the gem that Mike dropped and then TP'd out. That was pretty nice.
Wow. Yeah, there you go. That's great. It's actually Solo's gem that was stolen, so.
Oh, there you go.
Nice. Drow getting close to that level 25 talent at 50% CDR. Always a big one.
Ah, yes. Excellent. All is balanced.
Yeah, that's a pretty top tier level 25 talent, I'd say. A lot of the 25s are good, but that one stands apart for me.
Oh, Mike puts the sentry down. Didn't have the observer though, or they might have had the vision on the Pasha.
Nope. Now Mike, he's gonna get destroyed. Buyback used.
Oh, this is a scary Blinken. I don't know. Your supports aren't back yet. You're using your BKB. I don't know if they're going to get anything for this.
BKB now used by no one. Pops the ultimate. He's ready to go man mode. He wants Brax. Defensive Astral will keep Brax alive. Huge turn. Ultimate from the OD, but Brax falls. A black hole on 3. Oh, no. BeastCoast now could be in trouble as Envy BKBs has to run away. Ryoya gets left behind. Astral will buy him just a moment. Can they actually finish off this kill? It looks like they can. Buybacks being used now. Brax as well as Ryoya back in the play. But wow, economic damage done. And just like that, Virtus.pro pop off. 5K net worth swing.
And that Roche is coming back soon. Solo using that gold to buy himself a Blink Dagger, which they won't know about. And that might be enough to turn the tides of this Roche fight. The Spiders inside the pit, keeping an eye on this spawn. That means they're going to know about it because there is the big boy.
Double damage rune on Brax. Does have the primal split.
He's got half duration left, too, so they're going to go raid this pit. This might force the no-one buyback. This is a really hard call from Virtus.pro.
They have Ravage, no Black Hole, and they do have Doom. I think they can make a play here, of course. This is Roche 3. This is the big one. Feels like it's worth the buyback, but Virtus.pro, they don't disagree. There's no shrines, though, remember, so hard for him to get back into this fight. DOT's picked up. He's here. Ravage deployed. Doom on Ryoya. It's a dieback on the OD. Oh, no. BeastCoast in trouble now. Roche is going to go the other way.
This might be it. This might be that one fight that all it felt like they needed.
Nice capitalization there from Virtus.pro, just spotting that weakness. And, I mean, I feel like Solo's had War Stomp for, like, this whole game.
Yep.
And that is when you want it most. When you have that Blink Dagger, catches them both the stomp, gets to choose his target, and gets the perfect Doom off there to try and close this one out. A
Great
minute and a half of
BOT.
base defense. Brax is just going for the tier 4s. He knows he has to make some sort of play here. He gets the Courier with the Blink as well. Envy coming. Mike, too.
All
We
right.
got a base race.
Could be a good old-fashioned base race. OD down. They don't have any buybacks except the Drow Ranger. VP, what's the call? They get the mid lane. Back at the base, they are going to find the kill on the Troll Warlord with the Fiend's Grip. So there's your Aegis burned. But now they're starting to TP out. They want to mount the defense. Now Virtus.pro, they're on the low ground. Could still take a fight here. BKB's popped. Solo's going to go down. Nightmare for Mike. Ravage, that's your refresher shard.
No, Brax, though, gets the kill in the back. No one's in the base. He's dead. That's 2 minutes.
Oh, no.
No one bought the Boots of Travel, came back in. Now they're on the Ramses. That's
Ramses
a triple kill for
falls.
Envy.
So he's got the buyback. They do hold the base, so that's a tier 4 down. That's all they were able to get outside of the barracks that were already dead. And VP only get the mid lane of barracks. Wow, what a misplay from no one.
I mean, yeah, he bought back for that Roshan. I guess he thought that they weren't going to get forced back as far, or he thought he could get a backstab kill there. I'm not sure if his ulti was still on cooldown or not, but obviously he still has it at this moment.
But look at Pasha. He's got the refresher orb now. He used the shard in that last fight, but they have not seen this. They might be anticipating Ravage still on cooldown. There's also...
It is pretty tight.
Okay. Wow. So back to favor BeastCoast, I think. They definitely get the economic gain out of that.
And, well, now they have an OD, right? With an ultimate here as Roya. They have a full minute to capitalize on this. I think if you're BeastCoast, you're just all in on this mid wave. And you're just thinking about closing this game completely out. And you can see Virtus.pro, they read that as well. They're just hiding in the tree line here, trying to essentially bait out Ramses with his BKB.
But, I mean, it depends on how close they get. 25 seconds till Ravage is back up. Double Ravage plus Black Hole and Doom. They could still potentially hold without no one. This is still scary for BeastCoast.
Yeah, they're losing a lot of time here, though. Now it's only 30 seconds left for the Troll. You might just give up one lane of Rax here as Virtus.pro, and it looks like that's what they're doing.
I think so, yeah. The Glyph still on cooldown from 2.5. It's going to try to delay things without committing to a fight, it looks like. Melee barracks fall, range still standing, and even BeastCoast, they don't want to stick around. They know that Troll's coming back up, and they're going to head for the hills.
I'm curious if VP even want to smoke here or not. I don't know if they want to just like clear these waves and try and find themselves a play, because they have everything, but so do their opponents. But it comes back to this like just one team fight.
I mean, I think for Virtus.pro, I have to favor them a little bit if this continues at this pace, because they're going to have 2 refreshers with these big ultimates. That is damn scary.
It really depends on the buybacks. That's the big issue, is if they can punish these buybacks, because there's still a lot of time left here. Now, 3 minutes on the OD, 3 minutes on the Brewmaster of if you die, this game might just be over.
It's very true. Still
And it is
long
really hard to
ways.
win a team fight versus double BK or double Black Hole and double Ravage.
I mean, one or the other is scary, but having both is...
Actually, Pasha has no mana items. He just has Shivas. So, it's a bit scary for him.
Yeah. You're actually right about that. 325, the refresher's 375. It's pretty tight.
Yeah, so he's got like 70 some mana to play with. 77 or 82 or whatever.
Yeah.
The math's there.
But it's really tight. He's not using anything else. Forget about Anchor Smash and Gush.
82. I can do math, guys.
I guess in theory he has buffer for 1 Anchor Smash in between. I mean,
Just
not even a
one.
stick. You know, that's pretty wild.
It's alright, though. 2 Ravages is pretty good. Might be worth your entire mana pool. Of course, there's also BKBs to worry about. But the fact that Roya still doesn't have one, I wonder if he's thinking about that at all.
I mean, it's got to be up next. With the buybacks, the economy has really slowed down. Still a pretty good gold lead for BeastCoast, and Envy.
Envy has buyback and bots, which is, I think, what he's saving for right now. Or else there's no other reason to have 7,700 gold.
Yeah, thinking about a Scotty, but he's getting to this critical mass on Drow Ranger. She is scary.
Man, they're going high ground with a 4,500 surplus on Drow Ranger. Might need to buy something. That's a lot of gold to just have sitting.
Sure is, bud. At this point, buybacks less than 2 minutes on most heroes. Brax even down to 50 seconds. I think it behooves both teams to be just a little bit patient.
Still that cheese on no one as well. Man, how did he go down? Did he not have... He probably didn't have the cheese because he had the Aegis. Someone else probably had it.
Turned into a proper stalemate here. Level 25 Grimstroke now. Gets that ink swell radius. That's pretty nice.
200 radius. Wow, that's really big.
So it goes up 50%. I think it starts at 400. Now it's 6. So yeah, that's pretty wild. Just mouse over that.
Well, it's like... I mean, the
that's the
radius,
cast
though, is
range,
the... Yeah, that's the cast
That's the
range.
cast
The,
range,
the
yeah.
radius... I mean, that basically means it's going out 200 extra on each side, though. Like, that's pretty crazy. That's
Yeah.
basically the AoE of a ranged attack.
Oh yeah, yeah. Radius is one of those weird ones. It's not diameter. Yeah, that's insane, actually.
Yeah, so it's essentially it's like the area that he can attack around him. He's a 550 attack range, so slightly longer than that is now how big your Inkswell is.
Okay.
Pretty crazy.
Any other big 25s? Now that I think of it, don't see Grimstroke hit 25 all that often.
Yeah, you really don't. I don't know if I've ever seen a Grimstroke hit 25 actually.
Yeah, I can't think of a game. But now Tidehunter, he gets his cooldown reduction, 25%.
That's a pretty huge one.
What's Brood got? Some insatiable hunger damage, lifesteal. Okay.
I wonder if he'll... Oh, jeez. How do you actually solve your mana issues? Because I would probably consider this has been an issue. I mean, he has 18 regen as well, which we're also not considering. So technically, you know, every 3 seconds he can just anchor smash for free. But yeah. All right, he's just going straight up for the Octarine. It's a pretty good call. Yeah, it's gonna be a while. Because we passed the window now of the buybacks. If they had won that fight while those buybacks were still an issue for BeastCoast, then I think the game was just over. But now that the buybacks are there, even refreshers are a bit scary versus buybacks because you obviously, if you pop both your Ravages and you only kill a guy once, which is sometimes what it takes at this point in the game, then you're just so useless when they buy back.
No doubt. 2 minutes till the next Roche is up. And probably what we're going to see become a catalyst for action. I think both teams pretty comfortable on their respective sides of the map. Brood now looking at the Orchid into Bloodthorn.
It's funny when the game gets to this point where even the bounty runes don't force fights, though, because everyone's so scared.
Yeah.
Like, there's just going to be 4 bounty runes with no one on top of them. All right, maybe Pasha will find the bounty rune. Oh, Ramsey's here. Ooh, Arcane Rune taken by Envy. Of course, these double spawns, they were hoping for the DD.
For my coffers.
But Arcane on Drow Ranger with a 25. Oh, actually, he didn't. I didn't even notice. He didn't take the 50% CDR. So there you go.
Really?
Precision. There you go. I mean, it's a pretty good game. He is an OD, so the plus 25% kind of makes sense. And
Okay. I'm surprised, though. I feel like the CDR is way more popular. Is it more 50-50 than I'm giving it credit for?
no, I would say the CDR is way more popular, for sure.
Okay. Just a game specific. Dude, OD. 221 attack speed. Jesus.
It's really good for the creeps, right? Like, I assume, is he going to get it with his Arcane Rune? Oh, he's not, actually. That's disappointing. He's really close.
Battle Fury.
What, for no one?
No one, yeah.
Yeah.
Pushing out
We're
waves.
at that point. Someone's got to do it. Jeez, no one's got room to grow. Or, sorry, Solo's got room to grow, though, doesn't he? His Doom, Blink bots. That's pretty much his only 2 completed items. He's got a buckler that's just chilling.
Yeah. So right now, everyone has buyback.
Yes. Might as well just keep that one open when the Roche fight starts, that's for sure.
Yep.
All that's going to matter.
Roche is up, so defining moment here. Been scouted by BeastCoast. Has not been scouted out by Virtus.pro yet.
They're going to smoke in. There is a ward covering the area. If spiders come in, and they're going all the way around. They're actually going to try and catch this room. This is a really smart play. So they basically smoke for... Oh, my God. It's a DD at the Roche pit.
Oh, my.
That's a really greedy initiation on the Tidehunter. Try that.
BKB pop by Brax as they jump in. And they find it's only the troll. He'll turn and use his BKB also. No one just chopping down the broodlings. Now on the other side, VP starting to commit. They'll bring down Mike. Buyback right away. Ult from the OD brings a lot low, but actually doesn't secure that many kills. Troll Warlord able to reset.
Roger whiffed the black hole in the Envy.
Now they're going to go in onto Envy, though. There's the first Ravage refresh. Ravage number 2, it's there. Doom's been used onto Ryoya, and Envy in big trouble. He should go down here. They just need a little bit more damage. The Shrine going to top him off. They've lost TMT and Brax, but Ryoya also still living a bit longer than planned, but they'll finally go down. All the buybacks coming, and now the turn. Virtus.pro out of gas. They are going to get put down, and now they're going to burn most of their buybacks as well.
Oh my God. Every buyback being used, and that is the first dieback of this fight. Envy now going to need his buyback as well, more than likely, unless he's really convinced that Virtus.pro won't fight here. So many battles were going on during that engagement. You had Roger ends up missing the first black hole, but then he gets a second black hole on top of both Brax and TMT as they're taking down no one. So he secures the 2-for-1 in that situation, and thus forcing that no one buyback. Envy will eventually use his, as it looks like there could be an engagement here. And a refresher shard, where is it? It's on the Grimstroke.
Oh, Hex onto the Broodmother. Ramses is down. That's another dieback. Now VP in big trouble. Pasha getting brought down. He's dead in the grave. 3 on the sideline for 2 minutes. BC should be able to do this now.
Ramses, you don't need wards. You needed heroes. It's done.
GG.
BeastCoast.
They call it. Wow. What a game.
That was an incredible performance.
I have to say, some pretty crazy team fights, and BeastCoast taking it against the best of them when it comes to these wild engagements. And I mean, I don't look to ever blame a hero, but I gotta say this Broodmother that they bring out time and time again, it always fails to impress. It has that one really flashy time period, and then it just feels like it kind of does nothing. I mean, it did 18,000 hero damage that entire game as a core. It feels so lackluster.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the
position 5 Doom also felt pretty lackluster to me that game. I mean, both position 5s had a rough one. A lot of pickoffs there, but
for sure.
There were at least, I guess it's pretty equal. There were some pretty good Fiend scripts that set up kills. There were a couple key Doom ultimates that set up kills on the Outworld Devourer, but overall, I can't help but think, man, what if that was a disruptor, you know?
Yeah, he hits a pretty good one.
All right,
well, like the drafting phase and stuff too, but
game 3, man.
Yeah, I think Brax had the right idea. Like, that was a huge play to send the Brewmaster mid. I mean, that's the whole point of like how you deal with the Broodmother, right? But it's not just the fact that like, oh, we know to put the melee hero mid versus Broodmother. Like, that's obviously not impressive. It's more so just capitalizing on that early net worth, going for the Radiance, and